There you go. I'm recording. So what's up?
What's up? What's up?
We don't really have an agenda. Hey, YouTube. Hey, you guys. We don't actually have an agenda for these conversations, but essentially what Peter and I wanted to do was create a consistent dialogue about how we are building our YouTube channels because we're doing it together.
Yeah, it's fun, man.
Yeah, and compare notes, talk honestly and candidly about how things are going, and share kind of our internal dialogues with you. It's probably not a surprise. Peter and I chat and text back and forth constantly throughout the day about our channels, about things that are going on, about industry news, about tools and technology and apps and strategy and tactics. And I think a lot of that actually is very good. And, you know, in the spirit of transparency, we'd love to impart some of those conversations to you.
Yeah, man, we're two men in molten core, yo.
Yeah, so we're just trying to figure this out as we go along. But, you know, maybe you can gather. My kids are in the background, so if you're hearing strange noises, that's that. There's one of them right there.
My kids are asleep because I'm on the East Coast and John's on the West Coast.
Yeah. So for those who are first encountering this, I've got a new personal vlog, daily vlog on john.show. I'll put a link in the description below. And then Pete.
And I have a brand new YouTube channel and I'm sciencing the shit out of it. It's the first 15 show.
Yeah. So my channel is pretty basic. It's a daily vlog about me building raising a family, trying to build a startup here in Silicon Valley, San Francisco. Very, very typical. But your channel is a little bit different. What you want to give the folks a little bit of a rundown?
My channel is all about gaming. I'm a middle-aged man who wants to.
You're not middle-aged.
It's not. We're getting closer to 40. Aren't you getting close to middle age? Isn't that what that is? Anyway,
or halfway, almost halfway to 40.
Yeah. So, yeah, I wanted to kind of restart my career. I've had a very successful career as an entrepreneur and consultant, and I wanted to restart, literally press the reset button and start all over in a brand new career, a brand new field. And I think what's making it so much fun is that I don't know anything about what I'm doing.
Well, I think that's the beauty, and we've talked about this many times. I feel it's interesting because YouTube and video is not necessarily a new medium, but it's been growing so fast over especially the last few years, that it's impossible to ignore. And so, I don't know. Do you remember when you signed up for YouTube? We can actually find that.
Yes, February 22nd.
Oh, no. Of this year.
Yeah. I mean.
Well, when was your? Do you remember? You have an original account, or did you create a new account just for?
I think I created a new account. I mean, this YouTube channel is less than a month old, and the first video I created was on February 26th, literally 7 days ago.
That's right. Here, I'm going to check out because it's a personal vlog. I'm just using my personal channel, and I joined in April 6th, so almost a year. April 6th, 2009. So it was almost 8 years ago. Next month.
Damn, yo. I've been doing this a long time, man. You should be like pro by now.
Oh, I think that's something that we've talked about before as well. It's like, if I had started in 2009, we would not be having this conversation.
No, right? We wouldn't, man. You'd be light years ahead of me, man. You'd be in a different world.
Yeah. Now, but so far I have 100. I think today's my 106th daily vlog. I do all my vlogs on this device here. 107. I'm on 107 today.
Man, do it on your 365 challenge, right?
That's right. So I started just before Thanksgiving, I believe, of last year, and I'll work my way through Thanksgiving. Anyway, so that'd be good. But I mean, there's tons of stuff we could talk about, and I don't know. There's no agenda here. but you did something yesterday that I think would be a neat topic of conversation, folks to kind of to read. I don't know. You want to talk about that?
Well, you know, it's one of those things that I'm still coming down from in terms of the emotional high, and I think it's actually going to get worse. And so what I essentially did is I jumped off the cliff late last night, and I literally put out on blast to the entire world. Okay, so let's back up a couple steps. My entire established career as an agile consultant is all around consulting, organizational design, organizational consulting at scale, and so everyone knows me as that. Everyone knows me as an international speaker on agile software development.
You've also published. You're a published author, right, through Wiley?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So I have a book published through John Wiley and Sons, which is the largest business book publisher in the world. And so the entire persona, the entire perception of who I am is I'm a top tier consultant who works with the largest Fortune companies in the world, helping them, scale agile to help them build products and services. And so that's what the entire world knows me as. No one knows that I love video games. And so last night I wrote what I consider my manifesto, and you can check it out at agilescout.com.
I'll put a description below
in the show notes. Okay, and so. Yeah, so you can go to agilescout.com and check out my manifesto. That was essentially kind of all the pent-up anxiety and pent-up angst and pent-up nervousness of literally putting out on blast to the entire world that I'm changing my career. I'm changing my life. I'm literally pressing the reset button. And so I was on the phone with John. I was on the phone with you during this, and we were at my new Twitter account had like 7 followers, but my agile Twitter account, the one that people have known me for 10 plus years, is like 8,800, almost 9,000 followers. And so I was so nervous. I was like shaking. I was like sweating, and I was going through these mental gymnastics in my brain of like, dude, if people find out, am I going to be ashamed? Are people going to think I'm crazy? And so we made the switch out. And so suddenly I reskinned my old Twitter account of almost 9,000 followers to First 15 TV at First 15 TV. And then I wrote my manifesto and just called it a day. I said, you know what? If I'm going to go big, let's go all in. Let's go all chips in. And I didn't fall asleep till probably about 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, because all I did was sit in my bed, looking up at the ceiling and going, what the hell did I just do? Are my clients going to see this? Are my friends going to see this? Am I going to be deeply embarrassed in the morning?
Yeah. So you were scared and anxious, but you woke up and really
it was awesome,
right?
The response was amazing. I got up because my daughter wakes me up and checked Twitter, and one of the first tweets I had was from one of my clients. One of my clients tweeted at me and she said, dude, this is freaking awesome. I love it. And then the next tweet was from a CEO of one of my clients. I mean, think about this. A CEO of one of my clients, he's like, go, Peter, go, do it. And then I started getting a flood of DMs and other Twitter messages and emails of people going, oh my gosh, I can't believe you're doing this. You have balls of steel. Stuff like this. That was one quote. One guy was like, you have balls of steel. I can't believe this. And everyone was just ridiculously supportive. And so all my fears were unfounded. Here's the thing, though. I told you that it's probably going to get worse because ain't nobody checking Twitter on the weekend. And so,
or actually, it might actually be getting better. I mean,
once I start putting this out on blast through the next week, I mean, everyone the 9,000 followers that I have are going to be like, what is he tweeting about? What is this video game nonsense? And so I'm hoping that that they're going to support me. This is the assumption that I have. The assumption I have is that if they're going to find out anyway, they're either going to find out now or they're going to find out 9 months from now that I've changed my career. And in 9 months from now, if they have an opinion, they say, man, that's stupid. Peter's changing his career. I hate him. I'm going to unfollow him. Well, they're going to do that at 9 months. You know, and they're going to do it today. So you might as well just pull off the Band-Aid.
Right. These aren't the types of followers or community that you want to develop anyway.
No. I want to develop a vibrant community of gamers who love games and want to talk about games all the time.
So I imagine I've talked a little bit about career development on my channel, only because I've had many jobs and worked for many different companies. I'm generally unemployable, except for the jobs I create for myself. Unlike you, who you've worked for some very big name, big box companies, and you stay there for a while. I just move very much faster through particular projects. But so I would imagine that if someone watching this, you know, we've got a good community going on, and they're watching this, they're hearing what you're saying, that wow, like Pete, you know, having a significant career, like definitionally career change. It's not like I'm going to move laterally from marketing to I'm going to move into sales, right? It's not.
Yeah.
Not like
no. There's zero continuity to this.
Right. So this is as good as definition of a career pivot as you can get. Like I would imagine that someone's watching this and be like, wow, like so how do you get there? Like what if I were to follow the Pete strategy, Pete playbook, what does that look like? Because you spent time, like it's taken a while for you to get here. Like what?
I think that's a great question. I think I've got a couple people that emailed me that I just haven't had time to respond, and the questions that they've asking is essentially that. It's like, what the hell? I think one guy in his email, he said something to the effect of like, what was the switch? What was the moment that you realized you needed to do this? And so this has been percolating in me for a while. And I talked a little bit about it in my Saturday retrospective that I published.
I just saw that published. I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, it's actually good that you don't watch it because this will be all fresh for you. But I talked a little bit about it in my Saturday retrospective, is that I have been constantly curious about myself, and I think that's something that we all struggle with, and that's something that we all are going to struggle with for the rest of our lives. Is who am I? What makes me tick? What makes me passionate? What makes me enjoy certain things? And I've been eternally, curious about, what really sets me off? What makes me tick? What really what really puts a fire in my heart to say, this is something that I love doing. And I think it's okay to change. And that's been something that's been going around in my mind, is I think it's okay to change. I think you can have a season, and that season could be 10 years long, where you absolutely passionately love that job for those 10 years. And I think you can change. I think something changes in you, a new experience, a new idea pops in your head, it percolates, it grows into something larger, and suddenly you're like, whoa, I think I need to address this issue. And so for me, I work with the largest companies in the world solving some of the most complex software development problems out there. And I've always figured that being an Agile consultant, we know that Agile can work tremendously well in any type of organization, whether it's a small, medium, or large organization. And for me as a scientist, especially behavioral science and a cognitive scientist, for me, I've always been absolutely curious about the magnitude of complexity. Where can Agile not work? And so that led me to a mental path that looks like this. If Agile can work and help small companies change their culture to create high-performing teams, And Agile can work in medium and large companies at scale to help improve performance, build better products. Then can Agile work on what I consider to be the most complex system in the entire world? In my opinion, the most complex system in the entire world is life. It's life. Life is the most, your life, John Saddington's life, Peter Saddington's life, our lives are literally the most complex systems in the entire world. And we are in that system every freaking day. And so,
okay, so right, we talked about this, but so for someone who isn't familiar with Agile or Scrum or anything like that, what would be, in layman's terms, how could we apply some of what your decision making tree, so to speak, how would someone begin to say, well, I want career change, I want to do what you've done, I want to make that big jump, like what do I need, what steps do I take, what questions do I need to be asking that I'm not asking myself?
Well, it might sound really trite for me to say it, but I teach companies and people around how to create great product visions for their product. The product vision is the guiding light of where they want to head. Now, it's important. It's a small semantic nuance, and I'm bringing kind of my consulting experience here. It's a small semantic nuance, but it actually has a lot of value. And so when I speak with executives and product managers about their product vision, I always tell them that we do not want to create goals for that product vision, because you don't know how the goal is going to change. The market could shift, demands could change, priorities could change, budgets could change. I mean, organizational redesign. I mean, the vision is the vision. What's the product vision? Don't worry about the goals. Let's talk about direction. That's the most important thing to talk about is, are we headed in the right direction towards that vision? And so as trite as it sounds, the key element is, what's the vision for your life? What do you want to do? And for me, I finally came to a place where I love Agile consulting, but I want to challenge myself and I want to live out the principles that I trained thousands of people on, is learning through execution, learning quickly, and being able to change complex systems to better systems to improve performance. And so how can I use Agile as a mechanism to change my own life into a completely new system? And that's what I'm endeavoring on right now, is how can I change my life into a completely unfamiliar system that I have no experience, no experience in, I have no notions of what all of this is. All I know is that the vision is, I want to play video games full time. So I have to continue to move in that direction the best way I can. And I know that moving in that direction the best way I can, the best way to do that is to learn as fast as shit. As long as I'm constantly executing and learning, executing and learning, executing and learning, I will make better informed decisions as I go. I will be, that's it.
Yeah. So you're doing it for your weekend.
7 days.
7 days. Yeah, you're a full calendar weekend. You've got.
And I have pumped out like 40 videos in 7 days. And you say, well, where are all those videos? All those videos are the thank you videos that I pump out for people that subscribe. Because I have 40 subscribers in 7 days.
You have 40 subscribers? Wait a second. I thought you saw 33. I may not see an update. Let me see. I'm going to go into your channel real quick. 40 subscribers.
Is that good?
I mean, 7 days, so for contextually, I grew 3 subscribers a day last month. And so you're trending right now faster than that, right?
Yeah, but that's not going to keep up pace.
Yeah, well, so here's what I think will be very interesting in our weekend chats. I don't know how often we'll do these, but hopefully.
Half of the people that are subscribing to me are like family.
That's where you had to start. I always tell people, like, start with your greatest fan base, the people who really have no financial ties but are for you, who want to support you. If you can't convince them to hang, like our mom is still subscribed to my personal blog, and she
I know I was out there last week, and every night before she went to bed, she was watching her son's vlog.
Oh my God. So she will email me. I think I may have actually set this up for her. She will forward a feed that she gets in her email to me with comments. And actually last night, she sent me an email with a YouTube video say, here, I think this will help you. And it was like a video of some guy like on a guitar saying, hey, it's all going to be okay. I think she must have seen one of the more depressing vlogs that I did. But so our mom was, my first reader and fan and subscriber. And
I don't think she subscribed to me. I won't let her know that I'm doing this yet. I don't want her to be disappointed.
Oh man, yeah. So 40 subscribers, growing fast. Now you're a scientist. You have a plan. Like, so what's, as far as you know now, what is your system? How are you? What's your plan of building this channel?
Well,
maybe at a high level, I don't know.
No, I think that's a great question. Something that you, John, kept telling me, and something that I keep telling other people all the time is you just got to produce. You just got to execute every day. And, I've been the best example. I can give several examples of this, but the best example is working out. I work out. I work out religiously. I am literally the best example of a bad Catholic gym person, meaning I have zero faith when I go into that gym, but I pay penance and I pray at the altar of the bench every week. And I have no faith, but I still do it, and I still confess my sins at the bench, and I leave and I'm not fulfilled at all, but I still do it. But here's the thing though, when you don't miss a week of working out for, 2017, for 16 years, then you're going to see results. And so it's the same idea, is that if you execute every day with discipline, then results will happen. That's all there is to it. People ask me all the time, it's like, what do you do for working out and all that stuff? I'm like, you don't even want to ask me that, because I don't have the right answer. They say, well, you got to be doing something. It's like, I haven't missed a week of working out for 17 years. And they're like, oh, well, I'm on like month 2. I'm like, yeah, you got 16 more years to go, bro. So if you do anything for a long time, you'll get good at it. And so it's really just discipline to execute every freaking day.
Like these guns.
Yeah, those guns.
No, I
gotta execute every day with discipline. That's it.
I agree. I'm in the gym 7 days a week. Elliptical, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, for an hour. Weights, high reps, low weight, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. My workout routine is probably not the best example, because you actually did you did like a semi-pro circuit.
Yeah, back in the day. Actually, I still have the Tennessee State record for bench.
Do you still have that sword that you won?
Yeah, that's in my garage.
You won like some like battle broadsword or something.
Yeah, it was. This was like back when I was, I think, like 26 or something like that.
You should have it, and every time you hit him, hold it. Go.
You should. You're right. I should take it out of the garage. I should bring it in here and be like, yo, this is my sword, bitch.
No, that'll be good. So, yeah. So execution, and I think I actually talked about that in my vlog today, which I still have to edit and upload. Which is, I did a retrospective on the first 100 videos and kind of captured 4 key takeaways, one of which was just going back to first principles, or rather focusing on the one metric that I felt like was the metric for success was, did I hit publish? Did I upload 1 time a day? Everything else was not even secondary. It wasn't even important.
And that's it, man. That's the magic. And I say this, and it sounds so not helpful when I say it, but fuck, dude, if you hit publish every daggone day for 365 days, something's gonna hit. Something's gonna hit, man. And so You just gotta
So
you gotta keep doing. You gotta believe that if you continue to execute every freaking day, that someday something's gonna hit. Now, it's not like you just hit publish. You're also socializing and you're doing other extracurricular activities to help promote you or whatever you're doing. But I mean, you just gotta do it every day. It's gotta be part of a lifestyle. I consider working out as a lifestyle, not a peripheral activity. Working out is a lifestyle. You mold your life around that working out, and so it becomes part of your active routine. It becomes part of your daily disciplines, and at that point, it becomes muscle memory to the logical extreme. Example here, where I've worked out for 17 years, and now it's so muscle memory that I can go through it and probably sleepwalk through my entire workout.
that's right.
Which is where you don't want to be, but you know.
Yeah. So you plan on uploading twice a day.
Yeah, I think that's the key that's worked for me so far is twice a day. Actually, the first time I hit publish was just once, and it was Saturday a week ago. And after doing that, I figured, I actually have bandwidth for more. So I upped it to two per day.
Yeah, and the difference between, and I think this will be a really neat comparison, is that you're doing this full time. This is going to be
I still have to do consulting to keep the bills coming in.
Sure, you're gonna do a little bit of that,
but which is interesting to actually, it's an interesting topic to bring up. I was so worried that when I put this out on blast, my clients would be like, Peter, you fucked up. We're never gonna hire you again. And the first tweets I got were from my clients who were like, this is freaking awesome.
I know we talked about this, but I think the inverse will happen. You will become a scarcer resource, and so I think you'll be able to charge your clients more.
Well, what I think my hypothesis is that at this point is I think it's going to weed out clients that I don't want to work with, and clients who understand that, hey, I'm actually a really good consultant, and that I am trying to be radically transparent with my life and in doing a new career, that those people, those clients will get it. They will say, wow, Peter's not only a good consultant based on his previous accolades, which haven't changed, but he's also a more transparent person, and I appreciate that. And I think Peter is the type of person that can help us do great work. Yeah. So I'm hoping, my hypothesis is that putting it out on blast will actually filter out the crappy clients that I don't want to work with.
That's right. So you're gonna do this full time. I mean,
that's the hope, man. The hope is to do it full time. I never want to leave this room. I never want to travel ever again, man. I want to be here all day playing new video games every day. Guys, don't get it twisted. I want to play a new video game every
There's going to be enough of them, obviously.
They're coming out with games every day. I want to play every game.
So in comparison, I'm doing this more as a hobbyist. If I can just get one out a day, there's low end production. You're going to be investing serious capital up front, while I'm just doing it all on my iPhone, trying to keep my budget.
You're not going to be ready for 4K.
No, well, you know what? It will be interesting to see is how the iPhone 8 comes out this year, what their camera specs are. And as far as I can tell, I'll probably just get the iPhone 8 and then continue to use it on the iPhone 8. But so it'll be interesting to see your channel growth, I think, over time being full time, and of course, and then my channel growth more as a hobbyist. Now, I think there's too many variables because
it's really apples and oranges.
They're fundamentally different channels. I think there will be some interesting things that we could probably triangulate around view time, and that being the key metric for YouTube in terms of
studies have shown view time really is one of the biggest metrics that matter, actually.
Yeah. So I mean it'll be interesting as your channel finds a rhythm for us to be able to compare some notes and see how that's working.
I mean, this has been one of the most amazing experiences of my entire life. It's not that I didn't love my old job. or I guess I'm still doing it, but it's not that I didn't love it. I love it when I'm doing it. But man, what I have learned over these past 7 days has been a whirlwind. I have learned so much, and it's so much fun to learn new shit. I mean, I've got a green screen. I did chroma key. I've been video editing. For the first time in my life, I opened up a video editing software, and to do all this. It's just been awesome to learn a new craft.
What I like is that you're actually sharing some of your actual experiments with some of the tech. I mean, you and I we're both not video. Both of us actually started in software development, and then if I were to create kind of large scale bucket, I went deeper into software development as a specialist, and you more went to the management higher level
something or whatever.
Yeah. So the roads diverged kind of earlier in life. But yeah, strangely, they actually have come back now, because now I read this article, or I'm working through the Tools of Titans, which is a book by Tim Ferriss.
Yeah.
And I can't remember who. I wish I could give him credit, but he was reflecting how his father told him, don't worry about finding a job. The job that you're going to ultimately have doesn't exist. And so the principle was create your own job. And yes. I think that is more important than ever is in our economy with technology. There's no reason why you can't create your own job and be happy, create value for yourself and others, be fiscally responsible. I think all of those things are very possible.
Oh, 100%. We live in a data ubiquitous world where the barriers to entry, I mean, you know what burns my buttons? When I hear comments online about things like, I'd rather live in like 1940s, or I'd rather live, in a different time period. Whenever I hear someone say,
no way. This is the best time of your life.
I'm like, you are fucking stupid, because right here, this thing, you have access to the entire world. You have zero, and I'm getting a little heated about this, but you have zero excuse to be ignorant in today's world. You have zero excuse. You have zero excuse to be ignorant. Ignorance is a choice in today's world. And so creating your own career, I'm doing it right now. Subscribe, follow me, watch me change my life 180 degrees different. And I'm doing it all through technology that is accessible to me, most of it for free. What a time to be alive. This is the best time to be alive.
It's going to be crazy.
It's the best time to be alive.
Cool, man. So yeah, is there anything else you want to touch on?
Man, this has been fun. I think we're going to get better at doing these kind of like fireside chats. We probably, if we did a little mini retrospective, we probably should have some topics in mind to talk about, and some ideas that we would want to go deeper in depth with for our viewers, so that they don't see two knuckleheads just shooting the shit back and forth. But it's interesting. But at the same time, I think it gives an insight to kind of the relational dynamic between you and I. We have different speech patterns. We have different cadences to the way we talk. We have different inflections, and I think for our viewers, they might be interested in that. It's like, hey, these two twins. For those who have been wondering, yes, we're twins. These two.
I'm older.
Yeah. It's all good. Okay. Yeah, these two twins are diverged early in their careers, and they're coming back using technology to do really cool shit. That's what's up. That's what's up, man. Cool.
Well, I guess I kind of like just shooting off the cuff, so we'll figure out if their agenda or a topical list is interesting. Hopefully, we can do this.
Actually, you know what we should have? We should have the viewers give us topics for next fireside chat. They should say, you guys are both doing YouTube. Tell us about X. So we can address an issue from two different vantage points of what I'm seeing, what you've seen, and so we can give a kind of a more holistic picture of that particular problem to solve. I'm a problem solver. I love solving problems.
Yeah. So if you have a question for us to encounter, just leave a comment below this video. We'll save those for our next chat, and I guess we can easily just walk through that. My community in particular asks a lot of questions, and I love providing those answers as best as I can. But my answers are only one opinion of an infinite amount, and not all of them are very good all the time. So it'll be good to have your approach, I think, as well to some of those things.
Yeah, I mean, I think what our viewers will see is that I'm more systematic. I think very logically. I think very rationally. I look at patterns.
Are you saying that I'm not logical or rational?
No, it's just my natural inclination is things. I'm wearing a gray shirt, but I don't work well in the gray. It's black or white. And John, you know this better than anyone. I am 2 + 2 will always be 4. It will never be 5. Don't argue the point. It's black or white. And so that's just how I see the world, and that's how I see ideas, and that's how I execute on stuff. So I think it would be interesting to see and have that color commentary come from both of us to maybe a potential gray area in life.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So again, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out to this fireside chat. There'll be one of hopefully many, unless if none of you guys watch this and it sucks, we won't do it again. But leave a comment below for the next show, for the next episode of this, and if we do it once a week, that would be cool. It's pretty low key, as you can tell. Appreciate you guys watching. Appreciate you guys hanging out, and we'll chat with you guys later. All right, man. I love you, man. I'll talk later. All right, bye.